Hey, a very good day to all our listeners and welcome to our Back to Basics series. I'm Deepthi, founder of Heal Clinic, a wellness platform. We work with different energy healers in our quest to provide an alternative to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness. And today I have with me Eshanye, who quit a corporate job 15 years back to work in this amazing field of healing and wellness. She's a psychologist and an energy healer, being certified and practicing in many different therapies like radical healing, inner child, hypnotherapy, past life, ancestral healing, womb healing, EFT, family constellation, and so many more. Today, our focus is going to be to understand a therapy called family constellation, which over the last few years has been gaining immense popularity globally, mainly because it is seen by many as a very powerful and cost effective method of addressing different challenges which we face, especially relationship based issues. It is designed in a way to reveal hidden dynamics in a family or relationship so that we can identify what is the stressor that is impacting that challenge. Now, let's understand more of it by Isha. So, welcome, Isha. And let's start with a very, very basic question. What is family constellation?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's gaining a lot of, a speed, especially in the last 2 years, where because of the corona, we had to, understand the relationship with people around us and also with other elements like career and so many other things. So this became really, really important. To understand what exactly it is, this was started by Bert Hellinger from Germany, and he's a psychotherapist, plus he was a priest or something like that he was, and then he figured it out and he made it more of structured, and classically that's how everybody is following even now. Okay, he died I think 2 years back, September sometime he died. So basically it is, as we discussed, it's all about family. Family is a relationship between two or more things or people, and it makes a system. Now, what is system? Is system is always meant to make things easier and simple so that something flows easily. It may be love, it may be the work, it may be anything. Wherever there is a system, it is meant to flow something easily so that people can follow something and adhere to that, and it should make it simple for everybody to understand. This is the idea of the system. So families also follow the same systems. They have their own set of rules and they have certain few things which everybody should play. Now, do we really understand the rules of the system of the family? That is where the problem is coming. And we all think that we know, but we don't know. And as the modern days change, the rules don't change, people change. So there'll be a lot of tussles, there'll be a lot of problems. So family constellations are all aimed at making people understand what is the hidden dynamics of the family, the relationships. So basically, there are three main laws of the family system across world, across time, space. So we all have to understand that the three main things are: everybody has a right to be belonged. Okay, so once you are born in a family, no matter what, you are belong to the family. And if somebody tried to throw you out, then definitely that family is going to be imbalanced and the family will have to bear the consequences. Some other generation may bear it, but it will bear it. So you cannot forget anybody of the family. However, there, for example, there could be a black sheep of the family, and that means someone else will have to take that brunt of it, because this family made them black sheep and it should not be something like that. Second thing is given and taken stuff. If someone is giving, someone else has to take it. So for example, if one person is snatching all the property and not exactly giving to the siblings, now somebody in that family will definitely bear it and they will have to give lot. They will have to, it's like a karma. Maybe that person may not take. Maybe the person's 2, 3 generation after might take it, where they wouldn't even know that our great grandfather did it. So it has to be balanced. Another thing about this is, especially in Indian families, everybody wants sons and sons and sons because they take care of whatever belief system. So this will make the parents' love go to the son. Now to balance it, the daughters will get the money. In if you look at it in the olden days, of course, it's still going with a different meaning. Dowry was given.
Right.
The whole idea is this: love goes to the son and the money goes to the daughters.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but that causes a lot of problem. We see a lot of brothers coming and saying our sisters are claiming this house now. How do I give? Where do I give? Why they're doing like that? All kinds of things, because our legal systems have changed.
Yeah.
But does the family hidden dynamics will change? No, it's an unwritten rule.
Right.
So then the problem starts. Okay.
Right.
And the third rule is right of order. Previous members have precedence over the subsequent members. If it's a first child, it's always the first child. No matter what, there are certain responsibilities the first child should take. And the second child has its own responsibilities, being the second child. If whatever reasons the first child is miscarried or some abortion happened, and actual second child turned out to be a first child, the second child cannot take the responsibility of the first child. Then the problem starts for the second child. So these are the things, these are the main three rules. And when these things go for a toss, we call it entangled family. And everything will start becoming a problem. And family constellation is to find out from where this problem is starting. So we say system of origin. It started from the grandfather or even before or something. You will figure it out in a family constellation, so that based on these three rules only we untangle it, so that the client, whoever is facing the problem, can lead a good life of their own life.
Right. I think the interesting point that you made, especially the first rule and the third rule of everybody having a rightful position and they being in order, especially with as miscarriages and abortions increase. So most of us kind of, at least a conscious level, we forget about that over the years.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, you're saying is that we do need to give them a place in our family.
It is called as order of love. It has a word. It's order of love. Love can flow in an order only. If the order is mismatched, love cannot flow and it will stop. Now, what do I do with the love? Love is the most wonderful, powerful energy of the family which binds the family. Now, if there is no love in the family, there is absolutely no family. So order of the love has to be brought back.
So when you do a family constellation, how do you address cases of miscarriage and abortion specifically?
Yeah. So what happens is, usually when a client comes, they'll say that, let's assume for an example, my career is not good. I keep falling sick and I feel that, I have burden on my shoulders. My parents are not really nice with me. And my siblings are all also, they are not nice. I seem to lose money. These are the various way they come. Okay. And they will say that there is no reason for it. I'm very good. I've got good marks, or I'm really good in all my career. I mean, the college degree, everything. And I attempt also, and I go to the last level, but still I don't get it. Nobody gives me, any kind of job, or suddenly they throw me out. So many such things. And they won't have any logical reason for it. So the first thing we ask is, are you the first one? Or, is there anybody who was there before you, etc. Now, if there is a miscarriage, then there is a way this family can become the husband and wife relationship. Basically, parents will become stronger. They will help each other. But if there is an abortion, that is where the husband and wife relationship stops. It's going to be only like a contract basis. No more the love will flow. It is practically done. It cannot be fixed also. But what can we fix for the client, which is supposed to be the child, is to understand that you are not the first one. There was a first one. And we kind of using the representatives, which we will tell you a little later, how representatives can be used. We will bring in those souls or the children who were supposed to be before the child, before the client, and we make sure that we give a place. So even though in the real life it is not possible, in the dynamics of the family, because every family has a soul and a consciousness of the family is there, there we will give a rightful place, so that this person who is supposed to be the first one will start feeling, I am not the first one. That is not my story. I am the second one and I should be like a second one. And everybody's responsibility is not my responsibility, because I'm not the first one. And I will give you the first place. You do it wherever you are, in whatever state you are in. You may not be there in the physical state, but you are the first one, so you take it back. And I will remember you, and the family will remember. So then the family love starts again, because you have formed the broken part, you put it back. Now the love of the parents can flow to the second one also. So the second one will feel the love, second one will feel, I am the second one, not the first one. Right. So I am in my own shoes now. That means I will pursue my career. Otherwise, it's like I am pursuing my career, everything like the first one. And unfortunately, the first one couldn't be in flesh and blood like me. It's not fair. So I should lose everything, like how the first one lost.
The story gets entangled between the first and the second child.
Exactly. So this is what is called order of love. So you have to give the place. You have to also, unforgotten person has to be remembered, and you have to give the place also. And in reality also, people can act it out like as if that one is there. Either you keep a pot, or you just name that person and remember it. And, it's something like there is one more extra person. So that's like really giving the place. Even mothers will feel very nice, and they don't feel guilty anymore. So a lot of dynamics will change in the family.
Right. So basically acknowledging the person who was supposed to be part of the family, but is not due to any reason.
Yes.
So tell me, how does a family constellation play out as a session? Because this is not like other therapies where it's just between the therapist and the client.
Okay. So it's very important to understand that though Bert Hellinger started with families, okay, that is family of origin, which is ancestors, and the current family, which is father, mother, and children. Okay, though he started off with that because that's major part of the previous world we all have seen. But as time go by, a lot of things changed. Like people became very career oriented. Then their relationship with career started, becoming worse, and so many such things started. So a lot of people did experiments on it, and they brought something called structural constellation also, which is non-human beings or other objects. Like it may be love in my life, or it may be success in my life, or my life plan, or my career. These are all non-human, but they also have relationship with us.
No, and they also represent structures in the same way. The career also has a structure. Love
so
also
the commonality here is the structure or the system that we should not forget that. So there are so many such things. What happens is, when it comes to a family constellation, we will gather people who are unrelated and not knowing anything about the client or their problem. Okay. So even here, there is either a blind or half blind or hidden constellation is what we call. That is, client will talk to the facilitator and they will tell what their problem is, and the facilitator would know. But facilitator won't tell the other let's take some 10 people who are gathered. They don't be told about the issue. So they're practically playing blind. Right. They may be told, okay, you are playing the role of a father, you are playing the role of a mother, or you are playing the role of the career. That much can be told. That is something like half blind. Okay. Right. Or sometimes even that is also not told if the client wishes. So now what happens? The facilitator or the client will pick one of these people and place them in the field. Field is what we call as, it's a room or a hall where it will be held. It's called as field. It's called knowing field. That the moment when people gather with the intent that we are trying to help, that field set up. Okay. Although it can never be explained how this happens, but it happens all the time.
So it's an energetic field.
Yeah, it's like an energetic field which has a solution. you can think like already when the intent is there, the family's consciousness of the soul of the family comes there.
Okay.
And it holds the space. And when you place each representative, that is the people who are participating, one as a father into the field, they will start behaving like the father of the client. You may not even tell them, but the words they use, their body behavior, and the thoughts, even what they're expressing, everything will be like the father of the client. So that will tell us more and more that we are actually seeing the issue from an objective way. So the client sits back and observes his own problem.
Okay.
And in the reality, probably he wouldn't have gone and talked to the father. He wouldn't have known what father is feeling. But here you'll get to know what father is feeling, what is happening, was there any miscarriage, was there this forgotten person, and all of this will come. So the hidden dynamics of the family will be acted by all these role plays, which are representatives. Okay, so inside the field, every representative won't be themselves. Like if I am playing, I won't be Eshanye. I will be somebody's mother, father, or whatever I'm playing there. So there is a clear disconnection from Isha to that personality in that field.
Right.
Okay, and it will be a subtle movements, subtle feelings. All of those will be captured by the facilitator, and knowing whatever is the problem, they will try to give the place, arrange the order, and untangle the entanglements, whatever has happened. Okay, so this will start happening something in the body of the client. Like the client will resonate with that, and client will see, oh my God, this is what is happening. This should be the solution. So their mind will start changing. And very surprisingly, the consciousness of the family will start aligning. Why they say constellation? Because stars are there in the constellation and they can be misaligned. Something like, oh, where are my stars? They're gone somewhere. So you can align those stars of the family in such a way that now the family feels proper ordered. So bringing the order using all these representatives. This is how it always happens. Okay.
So it's like a movie scene where you can rearrange the scene. You don't write what the actual movie scene is. You kind of play around with the characters and you see how they interact with each other.
Yes, something like that. Now, one thing we have to understand, many people feel that, how did I behave like the father? Or even clients will think that, how can, is it really like my father? We don't have to prove anything there, because every client realizes this is how exactly my father spoke, this is exactly how it happened, it's very common. We have heard it time and again. Now, what we have to understand is the person who played the role in his personal life also, there will be some element of that which will be happening. So there is a resonance. That is why they get to choose. That is why they'll play that role very easily.
Right. So the participants also benefit.
Yes, they also benefit a lot. Something will change in them also. Many times we have heard that more than the client, the participants have got benefited a big time, So all of that happens. But at the end of the constellation, we'll all de-roll it. Something like, I am going to become whoever I am. I'm no more the father, mother of the client. So when you get back home, you will go as your own energy. You will leave it there in the field. So that is assured.
No, this I think I can say with confidence, because I have been part of personally many family constellations as a participant. And though in the beginning, I remember the first FC that I took part in, I was a little skeptical. I played the role of a grandfather of the client. But the moment I stepped into the knowing field, I was able to say and emote what the grandfather actually was. And when I stepped out of the field, I was back to being Deepti. So I have not only played characters, I've also played emotions. I have played inanimate objects like house, like jewelry, because people come up with different issues. So I know what Isha is saying. And honestly, guys, this is something which is very interesting. And I think everybody should do one or two family constellations to at least figure out what is happening, what is hidden in their families, as to why these things are coming out, or what are the issues that you're facing. Because and then you'll be really surprised after the session how in a couple of weeks things start changing for you and the people around you.
Yeah, coming to think about it, Deepthi, maybe we should mention here that practically everything can be understood, the
Yeah.
hidden dynamics of all kinds of things. For example, depression, anxiety, addictions. Why am I addicted? God knows why, kind of a thing. Bad habits, failures at work, and negative relationship, out of the marriage relationship,
Yes.
and then trauma and grief, obsessive thoughts, and physical illness, financial problems, phobias, and guilt if you have, and death of somebody, and then you're grieving like anything more than required amount of time. If not that, if you have a body pain for no reason, you don't understand it, or you want to get some awareness about something, or you want to figure out what is it exactly you should be doing in your life, whether this career will suit you or not,
I
or
think I
practically anything.
understand that person who's dead, because remember, in family constellation is not necessarily we bring in only people who are alive.
Yes.
Even people who are no longer there, who have passed on, their souls can also be brought on, their energies can be brought on to see what was the hidden dynamic with that person. I think,
Yeah.
which is something very interesting. So before we end, Isha, would you like to share a live example, let's say a specific problem that a client came with, and how was that resolved through family constellation?
Yeah, so this one thing I keep repeating in many of my talks. This was the first family constellation actually I did, and I didn't have any clue, but later on I got it confirmed, and that's where I'm happy about it. There was this client whose daughter was actually beginning stages of the schizophrenia. And though the father was not willing to agree with that, but Nimans had told that it is so. And since the child was too small and they couldn't give the medication, prescribed medication, something of that sort. I don't know a total thing about the clinical stuff.
Right.
So when he came, he wanted to find out why that is happening, because both are wonderful parents and all of that. He and his wife were there. So when we started off with the current families, like he, his wife, and the daughter. But somewhere we had to introduce his father and then his grandfather also. That is the family of the origin. Then it turned out slowly that his grandfather was he was owning a mango grove or whatever. He was that zamindar types long time back. He was forgotten. Nobody was speaking about him in the family. In fact, this father said, I have seen his name only on the ancestral home. I have never seen his photo. I have never, no one has ever spoken about him. This is a clear case of forgotten member.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he will definitely appear in the family in some way because they have to show themselves. So to correct it, they will appear in the next generations. Okay, why was he forgotten? This is how it will come through.
Right.
Then he said they believe that he's been murdered and nobody wanted to talk about the murder.
Right.
So we had to put the murderer and the murder. That turned out to be one of the worker who was there, who felt that he was betrayed by the owner because he probably had to feed his children everything, but he was held for loan kind of a thing, how it used to happen long time back. And so he couldn't, and out of rage he murdered. Now we don't go to prove it whether that's right or wrong. Okay, it's gone long time back. We are just only interested in how we can untangle this. That's all, right?
Right.
So we had to bring the moment there is a murderer, though he is not part of the family, he attaches to the family through this murder.
Right.
The same way, if someone has an extramarital affair, that lady or the man will attach to the family. Their fate will come here.
Right.
Okay. So now the murderer is also inside. So we had to do the energy exchanges and give the rightful path, and we have to say sorry to everything. In fact, I remember I didn't know at that time what I should do because my first constellation, I remember bringing Shiva and collecting all the unwanted energies and sending to Shiva. I did some kind of a ritual and all that where these people feel better. Okay, so we untangled all of it, and then we saw the girl who was playing the role of the child started feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
Till the time, like she was feeling going on, blabbering something not in mind or something like that. She started feeling better. Though the father, whoever played the role, played very well. The father, who was a client sitting, disagreeing with the whole thing. Okay. And then after that, we finished the consultation. And when we spoke, what he said is surprisingly, in this schizophrenic state where people hallucinate, right?
Right.
She always said there is a man with a turban who looks like a guard.
That was her great grandfather.
She is a five-year-old daughter. It's not a great grandfather, it's the murderer, a worker. And she keeps saying that I'm scared of him, I'm scared of him, he will hurt me, he will hurt me. It's like the grandfather probably always scared of him. So all these things happened. After 3 months, I got to know what happened. She started going back to the school. Of course, he was doing so many other things, okay, like to treat the child, but everything would have become faster. And she started going back to the school. So, and then when we were discussing with our teachers, they said that in Germany, they have found, the psychiatrists have found that wherever there is a schizophrenic case, there is always a murder in the family.
Wow.
So this just confirmed that we are not wrong and we are not seeing things. Right. But how beautifully it unfolded for me, who was just beginner of the thing, maybe that was an advantage because I didn't think anything. I just went with the flow. But this was one of the profound experience I got and humbled me that the family actually can show. Yeah. It has its own consciousness and it auto heals it if you give it a chance.
Right.
It's only trying to heal it through the children and through everything. You know, one time mistake happened, but it is trying to heal through the problems in the next generation. So instead of looking at it, oh my God, what is the schizophrenia happening? This is what a fate I have, fateful life of mine. Instead of that, look at it, it's an opportunity to heal the family.
Yes.
So because it doesn't flow anymore to the next generation, you will stop it there.
I think this is brilliant. This is brilliant. So I hope like for all of you out there who are listening to this, you have a fair understanding of what FC is. And if you feel that, yes, this is something that can help you with something that's going on in your life, do let us know and we'll be able to schedule a session for you. The contact details would be there below in the comment section. And in case there's any other therapy, any other modality that you want to understand more, let us know about that and we'll come up and explain that too. Thank you so much for listening in to us and thank you very much, Isha.
Thank you.